Hey everybody, it's JG Boccella here with Andreas Wilderer, and we've had some great conversations. Did a panel together at the International Women's Foundation recently here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he's got a really cool book out, and he and I are doing complementary work around changing gender roles and women and men coming from a place of positivity and strength, and we both have kind of different takes on this. I'm working on Bring Your Strength and this idea of collectively redefining strength and power for women and men, and helping organizations with this proprietary framework that I've developed to do that. And he's really coming for, well, I'll let him tell you about how the perspective he's coming from on this. And so we're going to have a quick little conversation here. Really interesting stuff that he's doing. So Andreas, take it away.
Great, JG, thank you. Like JG said, I have a book coming up called Lean On, and my perspective is how can men and society support women in leadership more on the partnership side and outside of work. And with women are leaning into their work and becoming the male breadwinner, they need someone to lean on. And how can we men become someone who is really supportive of a female at home?
So now you told me, Andreas, that you have these 5 points in your book. Can you share anything about these 5 points in the book?
Yes, so I say it's 5 principles, and the 5 principles of alignment. So you need to align yourself with yourself. You need to align yourself with your partner. If you have kids, you need to align yourself with them and have the conversation with them. You need to align yourself with work. And where the last one is, where are we with society? So, and with society, it's most of the time not really an alignment, but more like a disruptor. Where are we standing and with our changed normal about how do we fit in?
Okay, great, thank you. So now for me, coming from this whole idea of my book and concept is Bring Your Strength. How do we bring our strength as men? So instead of just passively, like, okay guys, try not to be so darn sexist, don't do this, and that, and that's, I'm joking, but I'm not. It's important. Learning about unconscious bias and our implicit biases is crucial to sort of, can't change what you don't know. So it's crucial that we look at that and learn and say, oh, I didn't know that was an issue. And then so the men can change behavior. And so here's what not to do. But then the next question that I think is the salient question is of our time, of this moment in time right now, is, okay, well, what comes after implicit bias training? And what do we do next? So and then what's the compelling invitation to men to say, hey, here's what not to do. Okay, that's great. But now here's what to do. And furthermore, don't just do X, Y, and Z. It's not about helping women. Women don't need help. They're strong in and of themselves, right? But they do need men to be a part of this change around letting go of this old stuff that's not working anymore for anybody. And part of that is around these ideas we grew up with around what it means to be strong as a man, as a woman, weak as a man, as a woman, what we learned as boys and girls. So I wanted to ask you, Andreas, if you could talk about the relevance, and there's a guy, a young man doing some busking outside with some great street guitar stuff. His really nice voice, so you may hear strains of that coming through the car windows as we talk. But anyway, so Andreas, I'm wondering if you could talk about, through this lens of redefining strength for women and men, what happens when you talk about, like, a lot more men are making a choice to sort of be a stay-at-home dad, but really your work isn't just about, hey, how to raise kids as a dad at home. It's beyond stay-at-home dad. It's more about, to me, what I've heard you talk about is around changing roles for women and men, partners making conscious decisions, if about how they want to have their marriage. Maybe they have kids, maybe they don't. But what about this idea of the baggage we carry about what it means to be strong? And oh, it's weak, so you're just gonna be home like taking care of the kids and that's it? Or how do we reimagine strength, all the types of strength for men, for women, quiet strength, outward strength, inward strength, all these different levels? Because you really are coming from a place of owning this and a place of positivity, and it's a strong place. So if you could share how you think this intersects, this idea of supporting women actively, and
that's a great question, and it's really about strengths. And like you said, there are already so many men actively supporting their females, and unfortunately we are not talking too much about it. So I always say they are not powerful enough, not brave enough to step out of the shadows and say, okay, it's okay in society to openly say, oh, I really support my wife, I'm proud to be a supporter, and I'm stepping sometimes back. So this as the one base idea here is to say, bring your strengths to this whole idea, to say, yes, I'm actively supporting her, I'm proud to be a supporting husband, and I'm not afraid of breaking the rules of the traditional views we grew up with, that the man has to go to work and the man is not here to support just the woman, or taking care of family, or taking not only care of family but just maybe taking a bigger part of the responsibilities at home. And the base idea is here also to say, it's not about this is the only way, but it's about every partnership should define their wishes. And that's the first. It's really important to say, let's communicate openly and have a great conversation about what are my dreams and what are your dreams and what are our aspirations together as a couple, and find a common mission and vision statement for the partnership, to have this guideline and work together on this guideline.
And everyone's different. That kind of acknowledges, takes into account that every couple's different personalities. Some may be more work focused, more home focused, super ambitious or less so, or different values. And so that's all part of that, supporting spouses, supporting each other. And and so I also always like to add, when I do this work, that the work that I do is welcoming to all men and women, and gay, straight, non-binary, same-sex couples, that even though we're talking about gender right now, more traditionally male and female, I also want to just give a shout out to all the same-sex couples and trans and the whole spectrum, where non-binary, just that as we collectively explore these ideas we grew up with around gender and male and female and masculine, feminine, so that we can have better outcomes for all of us. Real quick, we're going to keep this video short, so just another minute or so, but I want to, everything you said I really think is fascinating around owning that and saying, like, I'm a strong man who supports my strong wife, so that I really, the one point, and it's a nuance, and it's not to nitpick, but I want to push back a little on you, Andreas, on the one point of saying to the men, hey, you're not brave enough. Because I think there's a way to say, hey, it takes courage and bravery to go against the cultural norm, yes. But instead of, because me personally, like, I don't want to shame the men, like, hey, you're not brave because you can't even support your, like, you can't step out of this norm. So I want to push back a little on you saying about how they're not brave, but I'm curious, what does it look like? Because I'm all about the invitation. What's the invitation? And now, mind you, we know if we have people who are really hostile to these ideas, whatever. I'm not going to try to change you. If you're hostile to this, okay, do your thing. More power to you. Whatever. Peace and love. But the thing is, but for those who are somewhere, more towards the middle, with regard to this work, it's like, what do you think the invitation is to that person who may be sort of like, well, I don't know, I'm struggling with these ideas of my masculinity, what it means to be, I grew up with this, and I'm progressive, I want to grow and learn, but I'm still whatever. What's the invitation to that guy?
That's a good question. The invitation would be to say, just give it a try. You can always go back to the old norms. They can redefine it. And if you have not tried it, you don't know what you want to do, or if it's working for you and your partnership and not. So it's try it, fail, try it again, fail again, and at one point you will find the right way. So it's you just, with every time you fail, it's not that you failed, you just learned a new way what's not working.
Right. Excellent. Awesome. Well, thank you. We're going to end it there. We'll have hopefully more conversations with Andreas. I want to keep these more, digestible. So, again, your name of your book is upcoming. It hasn't come out yet. Can you tell us again the name?
It's Lean On.
So it's Lean On. And so we'll hopefully have some updates coming up. And my book is Bring Your Strength. And so hopefully Andreas and I will be collaborating more and really getting more deeply into this conversation. I want to welcome everyone who's seeing us on all platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever, Twitter, to just join us, men and women. Join us in this conversation about how we can collectively redefine strength and power for women and men for the benefit of us all. Okay? All right. Have a good one.